All right, everybody, welcome back to Throttle Grotto, SEMA 2022. This is the highlight of SEMA 2022 for me, seeing the Volkswagen A59 Mark III Golf here at the show and being able to actually get up near and close to it and show you guys a little bit about this completely amazing one-off car that Volkswagen's built. So let's take a look. All right, everybody, this is a car that has been a dream of mine to see in person for many, many years, and like seeing it here in the flesh at SEMA. I know some of you guys probably already saw it at the Low show out in Pennsylvania, but being able to see it here at SEMA made this completely worth the trip. So you don't want to see me, you want to see the car behind me. Let's check this thing out. This is a completely handcrafted custom engine. I don't know a lot of the details about what's going on in here, unfortunately, but you can see there's a lot of very unique details about this. There's a custom fuel rail. I'm not sure what this part does, but there's injectors. There's a very large plenum here that looks to have maybe a control flap in it, so maybe there's a variable intake runner scenario on this engine. You can see over here is a couple of lines coming in to the side of the other side of this plenum. There's a lot that we don't know about this car because, well, like frankly, they built it and then nobody ever really talked about it again. But you can see it's got like a rally golf style intake that feeds the turbo, and then up here in the hood they've actually molded in a scoop that feeds air through the hood, which will go right back onto the wastegate of the turbo there. So it's kind of a neat little feature. It's got a 6-speed manual transmission, and there's a lot of hydraulic lines down here feeding a whole bunch of stuff. I presume that some of these lines down here feed the differential in the back, and of course it has ABS, but there's a lot of mystery around what this accumulator and this whole hydraulic setup actually does. There's some German words there that I couldn't tell you what they say, but maybe one of you guys out there know what those German words mean. One of the other unique features here is, I know some of you old school guys have done this with the raised strut towers. So they actually raised the strut tower in the car and then built a raised upper strut bushing to get that suspension travel back in the car. That's kind of a neat feature to see what Volkswagen actually did way back in the day. And then they cut out little pockets in the hood to make room for all this stuff. One of the other neat things that they've done on this car is there's a whole mix of USA and Euro parts. Like, we have some European glass headlights here with the Hella branding on them, and a USA core support. But you can see here, I'm sure some of you guys did this back in the day when you bought your Euro headlights and you made some tabs to go to the core support so that you could mount your headlights. Well, Volkswagen did that first, in addition to welding on mounts for all the other stuff that they added to this core support. There's oil coolers down here at the bumper. I think there's 2 of them that are hiding down inside the bumper. So since this car was based on a lot of VR6 parts, we have the wide track here, which explains why we've had to do wide fenders front and rear. These, I believe, are like a 7-inch wide wheel, so you can see how far they would be pushed out on a regular Golf. Yeah, it sticks out. So it sticks out quite a bit from the side of the car if you had a stock car here to compare it to, where the door line actually is. You can see there's a pretty significant amount that they've flared this whole thing out all the way down into the front bumper. All right, now for a moment that I cannot believe is actually here. I'm gonna get to sit in the A59. I cannot believe that I actually get to sit in the Volkswagen A59. My gosh, this is amazing. So let's check this out first of all. Look at how these wide body sills are here. Nicely flowed into the arches. We've got some really nice Recaro A8s here. and I got to make sure that I don't bump these bolsters at all when I'm getting in and out of this car. And it looks like it has a digi-type dash in here. Let me get myself in the car and then I'll show you guys. Oh my gosh, I am in the A59, everyone. So let's take a look at what they've done with the inside of this car. I'm gonna have to use my cell phone to kind of light things around the car as I go, but let's check this out. First of all, we have manual windows, probably to save weight and make it a little less complex. Some of these things, I won't be able to tell you what they do. HKL, I don't know what that is. There's an ABS light and a directional light that shows one left or right. We have gauge lighting, we have headlight adjusters, but check out this cluster in the A59. Looks like it's got a digital tach, goes up to like $6,000, and there's a few different indicators that probably light up there. Looks like that cluster is made by Bosch. There's a little Bosch logo. I couldn't tell you what the LCDs do down in the lower parts of the screen. It looks like it was just adapted to fit into a factory Mark III console. We've got a bunch of different, these are what I presume changes the display indications here. So we've got volt, oil temperature, there's a whole bunch of differential temperature. I can't read German, so I can't tell you what they all do. HKL, not sure what that is. The GET, I'm not sure what that is. Probably an ABS shutoff switch. And it looks like they used a factory Volkswagen radio delete to to make that panel. We have a 6-speed transmission. Let's see here. And then in the glove box, there's some cool stuff here. It looks like they have Kenfeld, which might be like a fuel mapping. There's a boost control, a reset, a thing that says VM3000 diagnose, which I presume is for a scan tool. Get Tribe, I think that's for transmission, and a little baggie here. I don't know what the little baggie is for. Oh, that's the connector for the scan tool. Very cool. And another little door there off to the side. Inside, it's basically a Mark III Golf with some very cool aluminum pedal stuff. Man. And of course, they've got a custom Momo wheel with an A59 logo in the steering wheel. How cool is that? All right, so in the trunk here, you can see we have a raised floor for the all-wheel drive system in this car. And then we have a fire extinguisher system that we're not quite sure where that's all hooked to. A Golf 3 plate, a spare tire, which has a zipper on it. I don't know if we can actually look at the spare tire real quick. Oh, look at that. There's this big old Speedline spare tire. That's pretty cool. Otherwise, it's a stock Mark III Golf rear end with some Euro type reflectors, custom tow hook, exhaust tips, and of course the really rad A59 spoiler. So that is a really quick tour of the Golf A59. I am so honored to be able to have shown this to you. It's a very special car. I hope you appreciated this. Thank you to Volkswagen Classic and to Jamie Orr for bringing us out to SEMA 2022. And man, this made the trip all worth it right here. So until next time, get out there and work on something.